Welcome to BizClass. This tutorial explains what needs to be done in the funding calculator step of the bizzdynamics app. The step is used to set the funding calculator assumptions which will be used in the learning simulator. Now that we've done the review of the trading account, we need to see how we're going to fund this business. If we look at the balance, the bank balance, you can see that we're in need of some money. But remember, we haven't applied some working capital assumptions yet, and we would probably need to keep some stock, some inventory. We'd probably have debtors of 45 days, and we may be able to get terms from our supplier. And once we do that, we have a look at our bank balance. Now we can see it's got even worse. We can see that we really need to do some funding here and find some money to fund that overdraft. We'll obviously also have some other assets that we need to set up. So what I've done is I've suggested that we've got 10,000 in deposits, 1,000 in cash in hand, and that sort of thing will happen. Now let's see how we can fund the balance sheet. So perhaps we can go to the shareholders and we can ask them for money, the initial offering, and let's assume that we issue 1 million shares at 50 cents each. And once we issue those shares, we'll see that the bank balance gets somewhat better, but it's still not good enough for us. So what we may have to do is go to our shareholders, our equity shareholders, and ask for a loan from them. And there we have it, the 300,000 rand, which we've asked them for, and that will improve the bank balance. So the next step is to perhaps approach the bank manager, and what we would do there is we would suggest that we need a term loan of maybe 2.5 million, and he's going to say we need to pay him an interest rate of 10% perhaps, and we'll say we want to fund that over a 60-month period. If we add that term loan and we go and look at our bank balance, it's getting better. You can see we have some problems here, and that's because we're starting to pay tax. Once we start making money, we'll pay tax. But we're going to leave it at this point in time, because what we need to do is just show you how a trading account needs to be funded. Obviously, we can go and make those adjustments. You can perhaps go to the equity shareholders and ask them for more money, or you can issue more shares at some later stage. You could perhaps even approach the bank manager for another term loan. And once things go right, we can start looking at paying a dividend. So that's the purpose of this funding calculator, is to see where you stand with the finances of the balance on your balance sheet. And this gives you some opportunity to review your trading account again, and perhaps review your funding options. This short video explained the process to complete the funding calculator step in the bizzdynamics app. For assistance on other steps, go to bizzbean.com and look for the appropriate tutorial.